much indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the quiz where the more obscure your knowledge, the better your chances of winning. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
My name is Nick, and this is my wife, Teresa, and we're from Bath.
Couple number two.
I'm Roger, and this is my wife, Ruth, and we're from South Wales.
Couple number three.
Hello, my name is Sam, and this is my friend Alan, and we're from Nuneaton and Solihull.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Toby. This is my girlfriend Emma. We're from Isfield and Dunstable.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. Very warm welcome to Pointless. Wonderful to have you here. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce, chewing up and spitting out our contestants like a dirty cowboy with his tobacco. It's my Pointless friend, it's Richard.
Hiya. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Two returning pairs. Teresa and Nick got knocked out in round one last time.
I know, we missed them.
Yes, we did miss them. They seem like they've got a lot of knowledge. We just didn't see a lot of it, did we?
No.
But this time, we're going to see an awful lot of them.
Of course we are.
Emma and Toby, however, terrific work, got all the way through to the head-to-head last time. Now, round one today is one of those ones where, at the time a certain thing happened, I tweeted and said, anyone who's ever going to come on Pointless, learn this. So we'll see if anybody bothered. OK? But I said at the time, learn this. I bet this will be around. And now it is.
And now it is. Ooh, I love his prescience. Now, Paul and Ginny didn't win the jackpot last time, so we're adding another £1,000 to that, so today's jackpot starts off at £3,000. Great, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. As always, it will be the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that gets eliminated, so you know what you have to do. Keep your scores as low as you can. Best of luck to all four pairs. Our first category today is football. Can you all decide in your pairs? Who's going to go first? Who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. Let's find out what the question is. Here it comes. We gave 100 people 100 seconds to name as many teams at the FIFA Women's World Cup 2019 as they could.
Yeah, simply looking for the names of any of the 24 national teams that took part in the finals of the FIFA Women's World Cup in 2019. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Teresa.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Remind us all about yourself, Teresa.
Well, I'm essentially retired. I do work for the Victoria Art Gallery in Bath a little
Lovely.
bit. But keep busy with other things. Do like yoga, learning Spanish.
How's the learning Spanish going?
The learning Spanish is not as easy as I thought it might be.
Ah, how many of you are there in the class?
Well, about 4 or 5 of us. Yeah.
Cuatro y cinco, ¿sí? Cuatro y cinco, ¿sí?
It's going
Sí.
very well.
Sí,
the
sí,
Oh,
sí.
yes. Sí. No.
Muy bien.
Muy bien, muy bien.
Muy
Sí,
bien.
vale.
Sí.
She. I always
Sí.
think a whistle on the is,
I can't
just
do
makes
that.
it very authentic.
I can't do that.
She.
I can't do that. That's very impressive.
I didn't know I could. No, what about that? There we go. So, Teresa,
yes.
now, FIFA World Cup, Women's World Cup.
Yes. It isn't easy for me. Sweden.
Sweden. OK, let's find out. Is Sweden a correct answer? Nick thinks it is. That's a great nod, by the way.
Was it?
I think that's a very reassuring nod you do, Nick. Let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Sweden. It is right.
Oh.
Very well done indeed, Teresa. And that goes down to 40. Very well done. Off to a flying start.
Yep, they won the third place playoff against a team I won't mention because it's another answer.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Roger, welcome to Pointless.
Thank you.
Tell us all about yourself, Roger.
Well, I'm Roger. I live in South Wales, and I am a chef for a street food company that Ruth and I set up a couple of years ago.
That's very... I mean, are you literally street-based, or are you in a...
Gazebo?
building? Oh, no, a gazebo. So
Gazebo.
Is it once a week, twice a week, daily?
It depends what it is. We do some singular events. We do some longer festivals. So
particularly over the summer, very busy, I should
very busy summer, yes.
And how do you... I mean, because the last thing you ever want to be is sold out, you know? I mean, you always want to make sure you've got plenty of stuff
One portion left.
One portion left is exactly
If you've
what
got
you
one
want.
portion left, that is perfect.
Oh, you can eat that yourself. and just think, well, there we go. That just worked out perfectly. So, Roger, what are you going to go for?
Yes, I feel that I should probably know more of this than I do. So I'm going to go fairly safe and go with Scotland.
Scotland, says Roger. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Scotland. Scotland is right. 40 is the only score we have at the moment. And you pass it. 29 for Scotland. Very well done indeed, Roger.
Well played, Roger. Yeah, they had a real roller coaster time at the tournament. Very unlucky to not get through their group.
Thank you very much, Richard. Sam, welcome
Hello.
to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself, Sam.
I'm a chartered financial planner, which is a job I love, and I get to help people with their financial objectives, which is mainly around pensions and investments.
See, that's quite fun. I mean, actually, because you sit around and you tell people what you're planning for them, and everyone likes the idea of investing and watching investments grow, presumably.
Absolutely, yes.
And that's quite an exciting meeting to have.
And it's nice to see those plans come into fruition as well.
Yeah, very good. And outside work, Sam, what would you like to get up to?
My wife and I had a trip to New York last year, and we ended up going to see 4 Broadway shows, and it's kicked off a love of the theatre for
That's
both of us. So we like to go and watch theatre in and around Birmingham, where we are.
Excellent.
And also football.
Excellent. Good stuff. Now, Sam, what are you going to go for?
I remember this team because they got a bit of a drubbing in one of the matches at the World Cup, so I'm going to say Thailand.
Thailand, says Sam. Let's see how many of our 100 people went for Thailand. Thailand is right. Well, 40 is the high score, 29 is the low. And you pass both of those. Down to 9. Very strong play there on podium 3, Sam. Well done. 9 for Thailand.
Yeah, well played, Sam. And as a numbers man, you're quite right. They got beat 13-0 by another team I won't mention.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Toby, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself, Toby.
I've just finished university with my maths degree, and I currently rake bunkers on a golf course, so good use of my degree.
That is fun, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right. It's quite good.
It's quite nice being on a golf course.
Yep.
You know, how long are you going to be doing that for?
Just for the time being, and I'm going travelling quite soon.
See, that's fun. Yeah. That's good fun. And do you know any idea what you're going to do when you come back from travelling? Or maybe you'll use your travelling to work that out.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully I'll like it so much I'll stay out there. That's the aim.
Just stay travelling?
Yeah, forever.
Why not? Now, Toby, what are you going to go for?
Well, I'm not sure. There's a couple of quite obvious answers floating around my head that I'm going to pass over to try and help give Emma a bit of a shout. So I might have to go slightly more risky, and I think I'm going to say the Netherlands.
The Netherlands, says Toby. Let's see how many of our 100 people said the Netherlands. It's right. 40 still the high score, 9 are low. You're there at 35. Not bad at all. 35 for the Netherlands.
Yeah, got through to the final, Netherlands, so had a great tournament. Got beaten in the final by a team I can't mention. Sooner or later, someone will have been beaten by Scotland or Sweden or the Netherlands, and I can mention them again.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. We're halfway through the round. Let's have a quick look at those scores. 9, the best score of the past, Sam. Very well done to you. We then travel up 20 points to your nearest rivals, Roger and Ruth, who are there on 29. Then 35 is where we find Toby and Emma. And then 40, a little bit ahead, Teresa and Nick. Nick, from the way you nodded at Teresa, I think you might know some good answers here. I'm hoping so, because we can't say goodbye to you at the end of this round again. That is not on. OK, so best of luck with that when we come to you. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? Emma, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself.
So I've just graduated uni as well, and I'm currently working at a zoo.
That's right. Does it involve any raking? Can you and Toby share raking tips?
No raking, I'm afraid.
And what are you going to do? Are you going to travel with Toby?
Yes, we're travelling together. Yeah.
That's nice. And maybe you'll find somewhere lovely to
We'll both
stay.
stay out there, yeah.
Oh, that would be nice. Yeah. But any idea what you'd like to do?
Charities is about as far as I've narrowed it down.
OK, that's quite specific. There we are. Now, Emma, you're on 35.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're quite near the top of the scoreboard, but a decent score here would help. What are you going to go for?
Well, I've got an idea which came into my head straight away, but I'm not 100% sure it's right, but I think I'm going to go for it anyway. And I'm going to say Cameroon.
Cameroon, says Emma. Toby's not looking too upset about that. Let's see. I mean, you get a red line. At this stage, it's not entirely meaningful, but let's see how many of our 100 people said Cameroon. That's a very good answer. 9, equaling our low score. Fantastic work there, Emma. Takes your total up to 44.
See, that's a perfect couple there. Toby saying, I'm going to go obscure just to really help Emma out. Toby gives us a massive answer, and then Emma just comes straight and very casually gives us a brilliant answer. But the score is the same. That's the beauty of a couple. Well done.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Alan, welcome to Pointless. Tell us all about yourself, Alan.
I'm a highway engineer out in Birmingham. I design and build roads.
Can I say, you built some beautiful ones there. I've spent a great many hours, in fact, days of my life, going around Birmingham.
Stationary, probably.
Oh, quite often. Yeah, but it just gives me a chance to look at the beauty of the roads. That's fine. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that for about 10 years now.
And these are sort of traffic systems you have to understand.
Mostly what I do is traffic calming, which isn't very popular, and junction redesigns, pedestrian crossings, that sort of thing.
Traffic calming basically means speed limits, is it? That's
and speed bumps.
And speed bumps. Yeah. No getting around them. Have to go over them. Now, Alan, brilliant score from Sam in the first pass. There you are. If you can score 34 or less at this stage, you're into the next round.
OK. I don't know much about women's football, I must admit, and I don't know whether to play safe or go for... I'm going to play safe, I think. I'm going to go for Italy.
Italy, says Alan. Here is your red line. Can you get below this red line with Italy? Let's find out. It's right. And you've done it. Very well done indeed. 29 takes your total up to 38.
Very well played, yeah. An educated guess, we call that. And I can tell you who knocked Italy out, because it was the Netherlands. So I'm allowed to say that. That's good.
We've come full circle. That's nice. Ah, thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Ruth, welcome.
Hi.
Tell us all about yourself, Ruth.
I'm a business manager for a work-based learning company in South Wales. So I essentially do the day-to-day running of an educational establishment for 16 to 19-year-olds that want to do vocational training.
Very good indeed. Now, and do you play a hand in the street food?
I do.
I was going to say. So what? By day, and then weekends, it's street food, street food.
Yeah.
And that's great. How far in advance do you get the call up?
About 12 months sometimes. We're sort of already taking bookings into next year.
Nice. And do people get you for private parties as well? I imagine that's nice.
Yeah, we did a wedding.
That's a fun thing to do. Such a good idea as well. Yeah. Very strong. Now, Ruth, you're on 29. This is where it gets exciting.
OK. I'm going to go for New Zealand.
New Zealand, says Ruth. Here is your red line, quite low. Let's see if you can get below that with New Zealand. It's right. You've done it! Down to 7. Wow. It's getting slightly scary for Nick, but that takes your total up to 36. Well done.
It's a terrific answer. Very well played. They finished bottom of their group, New Zealand.
OK, now this. Oh, a Ben Stokes-like last stand here, Nick, is what we need from you. Remind us all about yourself, Nick.
I'm retired. I used to be a property developer with a big company. But now I occupy my time as a presenter on Bath Hospital Radio with my wife.
You kept that very quiet last time. I thought that's why you do a husband and wife show.
We do.
How often?
Just once a week.
He's got quite a good bedside manner.
Yeah,
Nick.
good voice. They've both got good voices.
Hospital radio, that'd be can even if we're not in hospital in Bath, can we still listen?
You can.
What
it's
time?
on the internet.
What time are you on?
Wednesdays between 10 and 12.
Any particular theme to the show? I mean, do you play any particular kinds of music, or is it just
sort of Radio 2-ish?
Ah.
Have you ever played any of Zander's tracks?
Go on, be honest now. No.
A smooth bass baritone sound playing. Yes, actually, I think we have.
Have you really?
We get requests.
Oh.
Some of them are very strange.
Yeah. You're telling me.
Yes, I'm sure we have.
Oh, thank you.
Three albums?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All still available?
Oh, very much so.
Wherever you download music, they're all there.
Exactly, they're all there. Bargain bins across the country.
No.
There we are. Now, Nick, this is exciting. We can't put this off any further. We have to get a score of 3 or less from you, Nick. Did you follow the Women's World Cup?
Football and me are strangers.
Right.
So
I start with that statement.
OK.
So this is going to be interesting.
This is going to be an informed punt.
Uninformed punt, I think, is probably better. So I think I might go for Japan.
Japan. Japan. Let's see what happens when we say Japan. Here is your red line. It's right. Oh, it's 28. Takes your total up to 68. Very well done. Great guess. I'm afraid it's too high a score, though.
Sorry, Nick. Good round from everybody there. That's a low score to be knocked out on, especially in a round like this. Now, there's no pointless answers at all. There's only one answer, actually, that could have seen you through, and that's the best answer there. And that was the Reggae Girls of Jamaica, who would have scored you 3 points. Very well done if you said that. You'd have got 6 for Nigeria and Chile. Then New Zealand, which Ruth gave us as a terrific answer. Korea also would have scored you 7. South Africa, 8. You'd have got 13 for Argentina, 14 for Canada and China. You would have got 17 for Norway, 20 for Australia, 24 for Brazil, 29 for Spain. Would have been a good answer. 46 for Germany. And here are the top 3 scorers. France would have scored you 63. It was in France, of course. England in second place with 80. And the USA, the winners, were top of the shop there on 85. You would have thought that England might have got more
You might have hoped.
points than the USA.
There we are.
A lot of us watched it.
Fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Richard, well, we're at the end of our first round. We have to say goodbye to one of our pairs, and I can't bear it for the second time. It's a first-round exit. Nick and Teresa, it's been lovely having you on the show. Far too brief in both cases, but thank you so much for playing. Nick and Teresa.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 3 pairs, it is now time for round 2. And there we are, down to 3 pairs. Very well done. You made it through that round incredibly well. Lovely low scores there, and actually not much between you. Ruth, you were our lowest individual scorer. Hats off to you. Ruth and Roger, our lowest combined scorers. But as I say, it was all very much of a muchness, so well done. Our category for round 2 today is literature. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and our question concerns first editions. Richard.
Yeah, we're simply going to show you the titles of 6 famous novels on both passes, all of which have had first editions sold at Sotheby's. We'll give you the initials of the author and the date of publication. Just tell us who wrote these books, please. So 12 authors to guess at home.
Thank you very much indeed. So who are the authors of these first editions that have all sold at Sotheby's? We have got 1984, 1949, G.O., Brave New World, 1932, A.H., Finnegan's Wake, 1939, J.J., The Sign of 4, 1890, A.C.D., The Picture of Dorian Gray, 1891, O.W., and The Mysterious Affair at Styles, 1920, A.C. I'll read those titles again. 1984, Brave New World, Finnegan's Wake, The Sign of 4, The Picture of Dorian Gray, and The Mysterious Affair at Styles. Roger, that's a slightly nicer round than it sounded. I mean, the first editions bit, when that came up, I could see everybody looking a little bit scared at that point, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's not a bad board. Of those, I think of the ones I know, I'm going to go with Brave New World, which is Aldous Huxley.
Aldous Huxley, says Roger. Let's see how many of our 100 people went for Huxley. Aldous Huxley, absolutely right. 29 is your score. Well done, Roger.
Yeah, in 2018, a first edition went for £4,000, so, which is a lot for a book.
Yes.
But not much for, say, if it was a painting.
This is true.
But it's not, it's a book.
You're right. Thank you very much indeed. OK, now, Sam.
Hello.
Sam, what are you going to go for?
I think I'm going to go for the bottom one, The Mysterious Affair at Styles, and that was Agatha Christie.
Agatha Christie, says Sam. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Agatha Christie. It's right. 29 is the only score we have so far, and you pass it. Down it goes to 21. Very well done. Well played on the middle podium.
Yeah, it was her first novel, introduced the character of Hercule Poirot, The Mysterious Affair at Styles. £10,000, that would have set you back.
Wow. Thank you very much. Emma, this is your board.
Yep.
This is your moment. Do you want to fill in all those blanks for us?
Fill in most of them. 1984 is George Orwell. Don't Know Finnegan's Wake. Sign of 4 is Arthur Conan Doyle. And Picture of Dorian Gray is Oscar Wilde, I believe. I think I'll go for The Sign of 4, Arthur Conan Doyle.
Arthur Conan Doyle, says Emma, for The Sign of 4. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that. It's right. 29's our high score, 21's our low. Look at that, 17. Very well done indeed, Emma, 17.
Very well played, Emma. Yeah, £8,000. That would set you back as the second Sherlock Holmes novel. You chose exactly the right one of the ones you knew. Actually, you chose the best one on the whole board. 17, you can't beat that score. You're right about George Orwell. He would have scored you a few more points there. He would have scored you 59. You were right about Oscar Wilde as well. Picture of Dorian Gray. It's another pretty big scorer, though, 52. And Finnegan's Wake?
James Joyce.
James Joyce. And that would have scored you 20. So very well done if you said Arthur Conan Doyle.
Thank you very much indeed. OK, let's have a look at our scores halfway through the round. The best score of the past was yours, Emma. Very well done indeed. Emma and Toby looking very strong. But again, nice grouping. All good low scores. 21's where we find Sam and Alan. A little bit ahead. Roger and Ruth on 29, but not devastatingly. A nice low score from you, Ruth, will even that up. So good luck with that. We'll come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, shall we put more first editions up on the board? Here they come. Tropic of Capricorn, 1939, H.M. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, 1876, M.T. Emma, 1816, J.A. The Wind in the Willows, 1908, K.G. Lord of the Flies, 1954, W.G. And A Farewell to Arms, 1929, E.H. I'll read those all again. Tropic of Capricorn, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, Emma, The Wind in the Willows, Lord of the Flies, and A Farewell to Arms. There we are. Now, Toby.
Yes.
How do we like this board?
Well, we're going to have to continue being a bit of a one-man team, I think. Emma dragged us through the first round. She's going to have to... Luckily, she's helped me out already here. I do know a few, which is more than I was expecting. I think I'm going to go for one I studied at school, Lord of the Flies, I think was William Golding.
OK, William Golding. You've got to hope everyone else didn't study it at school as well. You do get a red line, there it is, but let's see where we end up with William Golding. There we are, 29, not bad. Takes your total up to 46.
That's another £4,000.
Thank you very much. Now, Alan.
Yeah, this is a difficult board for me. I was better with the previous board, I think.
24 or less is what we need from you.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Emma by Jane Austen.
OK, Jane Austen. Here is your red line. Can we get close to that red line with Jane Austen? Let's find out. Oh, 56 for Jane Austen, taking your total up to 77.
Now, you'd think from 1816 that would be worth an absolute fortune.
Oh, I was hoping it would be.
No, 11,250.
What?
But I think by that point she was very well known. So actually the first edition was probably a pretty big pressing. It wasn't like she wasn't famous and they did sort of 10 of them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, those are the books that are very valuable, I think.
Yes, that's true. OK, thank you very much indeed. Now then, Ruth, you've got a target of 47, which I think is nice. I imagine that that will cheer you up a bit. Do you want to talk us through this board?
No. I really can't. I think at this point Roger realised that we were done. I don't know any of them, I'm afraid. I would just have to have a stab in the dark to say that Wind in the Willows is Kevin Griffiths.
Kevin Griffiths. Here is your red line. Can we get anywhere on that column with Kevin Griffiths? No, I'm afraid not. That scores you 100 points, takes your total up to 129.
Yeah, not Kevin Griffiths. I'm afraid. I bet you can go through this board. So it's not Kevin Griffiths.
Kenneth Graham.
Kenneth Graham. That would have scored you 27 points. Now, the best answer, we'll leave Tropic of Capricorn because it's the best answer up there. Farewell to Arms.
Is Ernest Hemingway.
Ernest Hemingway. Would have scored you 22. Adventures of Tom Sawyer.
Mark Twain.
Mark Twain. That would have scored you 46. The best answer up there, Tropic of Capricorn.
I don't know.
Henry Miller. 8 points. Very well done if you said that at home.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So, at the end of our second round, the pair we have to say goodbye to, Ruth and Roger, you played so well.
I know.
And then this round, I'm afraid, tripped you up. How was the first board for you, Ruth? Would that have been better if you'd gone first, do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Safe to say that, anyway.
Yeah.
We'll never know. But you'll be back next time, and I suspect you'll go a lot further then, because it's been a strong performance up to this point. Thank you very much indeed, Ruth and Roger. But for the remaining two pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Very well done, Emma and Toby. Sam and Alan, you're now one step closer to the final and a chance to play for that jackpot. Let's not forget, still standing at £3,000. That'd be a nice little prize to take home. Here we are, head-to-head. You can start chatting before you give your answers, which is nice. Make use of pooling your knowledge. Emma and Toby, you were in the head-to-head last time. Now you've been upgraded. You are a golden couple. Slight advantage to you there with questions 1 and 3, if it comes to that. Anyway, we shall see what happens, because Sam and Alan have also been no slouches. So, yes, best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here comes your first question. And it concerns famous Karens. Richard.
5 pictures of famous Karens, but who is the least famous Karen?
Thank you very much. Let's reveal the Karens. Bring on the Karens. A. B. C. D. And E. There we are. Now then, Emma and Toby, you are the low scorers, so you get to go first.
Okay. We only know one on the board. At least we think we know one. So we're going to go with E. Karen Gillan.
E. Karen Gillan, say Emma and Toby. Now, Sam and Alan, do you want to talk us through the Karens?
Struggling with the other Karens.
It's not an easy board, is it?
It's not, no.
Karen, as it turns out, is... I mean, it's, you know. There are some names you'd expect probably to know all of them.
I know the face of Karen number A, but I'm not sure the surname. C and D, no idea. But I think number B is Karen Carpenter.
I like number B. Letter B.
Number B,
number
yes,
B,
yeah,
number
sure.
B, letter B, number B. So we have Karen Gillan for E, and we have Karen Carpenter for B. Let's see, in the order they were given, Emma and Toby said Karen Gillan. Let's see how many of our 100 people spotted her. Karen Gillan is right. It's a very good answer. 15 is what it scores you. Well done. And Karen Carpenter is what Sam and Alan are saying for B. Let's see how many of our 100 people got Karen Carpenter. That's right. 73 for Karen Carpenter. Well done, Emma and Toby. After one question, you're up 1-0.
Yeah, the first one is was Karen from Strictly, and that's Karen Clifton, or Karen Hauer, as she is now. She would have scored you 21 points. C, listen, this is a tough one. I'm a big tennis fan, and he's an obscure tennis player. Karen Khachanov, the Russian, and he got through to the quarterfinals of the French Open. Would have scored 3 points. And the best answer on the board, that's the Danish writer Karen Blixen. That's the character that Meryl Streep played in Out of Africa, and she was a pointless answer, so very well done if you knew that.
Wow. Tough board.
Tough board.
Tough board. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So we come to our second question. Sam and Alan, this is the one you have to win to stay in the game, so best of luck. Our second question today is all about dares.
Yep, simply 5 clues now to facts about things that contain the word dare somewhere.
Thank you very much indeed. Let's reveal our 5 dare clues, and here they come. The 1968 film set during World War II that starred Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood. Author of the Tracy Beaker story, The Dare Game. Name of the first English child born in the Americas. British military force first formed in 1941 with the motto, Who Dares Wins. And name of the vigilante alter ego of the Marvel Comics character, Matt Murdock. I'll read those all again. The 1968 film set during World War II that starred Richard Burton and Clint Eastwood. Author of the Tracy Beaker story, The Dare Game. Name of the first English child born in the Americas. British military force first formed in 1941 with the motto, Who Dares Wins. And name of the vigilante alter ego of the Marvel Comics character, Matt Murdock. OK, Sam and Alan, you will go first.
I think we go for the Tracy Beaker author, which is Jacqueline Wilson.
Jacqueline Wilson, say Sam and Alan for the Tracy Beaker author. Emma and Toby, Do you want to talk us through the rest of those dares?
Can't really. The only one I know is the name of Vigilante Alter Ego, which is Daredevil.
OK, you're going to go for Daredevil from Matt Murdock. So we have Jacqueline Wilson and we have Daredevil. Sam and Alan went for Jacqueline Wilson, the author of Tracy Beaker. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that. It's right. Dan goes for 32. Emma and Toby, meanwhile, have gone for Daredevil for the Matt Murdock character. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Daredevil. Daredevil is right. Oh, this is going to be close. Oh, 34 for Daredevil. Very well done indeed. Well done, Sam and Alan. Back in the game. After 2 questions, it's 1-1.
Really close. Very well played. That film at the top there.
Where Eagles Dare.
Where Eagles Dare.
Great film.
Would have scored 24 points. The British Military Force.
SAS.
Yeah, SAS. Well done. Special Air Service. 49 points for that. Do you know this one? It's one of those ones you either know it or you don't. The surname is Dare. It's a female baby. What might you call the very first settler in America? Virginia. Virginia Dare was the answer.
After the Queen, I suppose.
Exactly, yeah. 2 points for that. And, yes, born on Roanoke Island.
There we are. Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So here comes your third question. This is the decider. Whoever wins this one goes through to the final and plays for that jackpot. Best of luck to both pairs. Our third question is all about castles in Wales. Right, OK. Richard.
We're going to show you the names now of 5 Welsh castles, but with alternate letters missing. What are these castles, please?
Thank you very much indeed. OK, let's reveal our 5 castles, and here they come. PMRK, CRECNE, HREH, CRIF, and BAMRS. I'll read those all again. PMRK, CRECNE, HREH, CRIF, and BAMRS. There we are. Emma and Toby will go first.
Wow. It's not the best of boards or the best of topics, but I think we're going to have to go for the only one we know, and we think that the second from bottom is Cardiff.
OK, Cardiff, say Emma and Toby. Sam and Alan, do you want to talk us through the rest of those castles?
Yeah, I thought the top one was Pembroke, but it might not be. I don't know the second one. The third one's Harlech. And the bottom one, which is what we're going to go for, I think is Beaumaris.
OK, you're going to go for Beaumaris. So we have Cardiff and we have Beaumaris. Emma and Toby went for Cardiff. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Cardiff. Cardiff is right. 76. That's a high score. Sam and Alan, meanwhile, have gone for Beaumaris, which, if it's right, sounds like it might be a low score, but let's find out. Beaumaris, is it right? It is right. And I'm afraid it beats Cardiff. Down it goes to 16. Very well done indeed, Sam and Alan. That means after 3 questions, you're through to the final 2-1.
Well played, gents. Yes, a castle on the Isle of Anglesey, Beaumaris. You're right about Harlech. That would have scored you 35 points. The top one, it looks like Primark, but it's not.
It is Pembroke, isn't it?
Pembroke, yeah. That would have scored 32. And the best answer on the board, do you know that one at all?
Curfew Canoes.
It is not Curfew Canoes, but that does fit. Very well done. Carreg Kennan. Carreg Kennan, and that would have scored 2 points. Very well done if you said that.
Thank you very much indeed. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round. I'm so sorry, Emma and Toby. You've worked your way up every stage of this. Here you were in the perfect position to go on into the final. I'm sorry our Welsh castles felled you. But it's been lovely having you on the show. You played incredibly well across both shows, so thank you so much. Emma and Toby, wonderful today. But for Sam and Alan, it is now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Sam and Alan. You fought off all the competition and you've won our coveted pointless trophy, so that's nice. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot, and at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £3,000. Well, you made quick work of that. Fantastic. We've had lovely low scores from you all the way through. But wouldn't it be nice? I think fitting to take that jackpot back home. Anything you particularly want to see come up in this last round?
Football or cricket would be great for me.
Nice.
Anything to do with cars would be great for me, I think.
OK, so cars, not just roads, but cars.
Cars, yeah, on the
whole-
roads.
Anything automotive.
It's full circle.
Lovely. OK, well, let's see. There's going to be a board here with 4 things on it. Let's hope one of those things appeals to you. US acting dynasties, prog rock, the London Marathon, the year 1978.
Oh, definitely not prog rock. I wouldn't know where to begin with that one. 1978, probably before both our times. So do you reckon acting or the London Marathon?
Acting, I guess.
I think we'd go. Shall we go for US acting dynasties?
Go on then.
Yeah, we'll go for US acting dynasties, please.
OK, US acting dynasties.
OK, very best of luck, gents. We're looking for any feature film made for cinema release for which one of the following received a credit, according to IMDb, up to the end of July 2019. We're looking for any Tippi Hedren films. We're looking for any film starring her daughter, Melanie Griffith, and we're looking for any film starring her granddaughter, Dakota Johnson. So Tippi Hedren, Melanie Griffith, and Dakota Johnson. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed. As always, you've got up to a minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win the jackpot is just one of those answers to be pointless. Are you ready? Let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Tippi Hedren, I don't know what she did other than the birds. I can't think what else she would have done. Melanie Griffiths, Working Girl, Bonfire of the Vanities. Dakota Johnson has done the 50 Shades film, which I think was 50 Shades of Grey and 50 Shades Freed.
There's 3 of them, isn't there? So we could do one of them. Maybe one of them is obscure.
50 Shades Freed. I don't know what the third one would be called. I think she did a romantic comedy called How to Be Single, which I think, I seem to recall her being in that. Tippi Hedren, I know she's acted for a long time, but I couldn't tell you anything else that she's been in. Melanie Griffiths,
Working Girls in
Bonfire of the
10 seconds left.
Bonfire of the Vanities.
I think you should go for the Dakota Johnson one. So 50
Okay.
Shades Freed.
Bonfire of the Vanities, and maybe How to Be Single.
Yeah, OK, let's go for it.
OK, that is your time up. Let's have your 3 answers.
I forgot what we said now. 50 Shades Freed
Bonfire of the Vanities.
and How to Be Single.
And they're all for Dakota Johnson.
50 Shades Freed is Dakota
Johnson. Yes, 50 Shades
Bonfire of the
Freed.
Vanities would be Melanie
Bonfire of
Griffiths.
the Vanities.
And How to Be Single would be Dakota Johnson.
And How to Be Single. OK, there are your 3 answers. Of the 3 of them, which is your best shot? Which do you think is the most obscure of those?
I think How to Be Single.
OK, How to Be Single we put last. Least likely to be pointless?
50 Shades Freed, do you think?
Yeah,
or
maybe a
Bonfire-
bit.
OK, 50 Shades Freed we put first. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We have got 50 Shades Freed, The Bonfire of the Vanities, and How to Be Single. 3 good answers on the board there. Let's hope one of those wins you that jackpot. 3,000 quid. That'd be a nice little parcel to be taken back.
It would be very nice.
What do you want to do with that if you were to win it, Sam?
I desperately need a new car. Sorry, it's nothing more exciting to say, but it would go towards paying for that, I think.
To Alan, that's very exciting.
Well, he's going to help me.
OK, Alan, how about you?
I like gadgets in my house. I've got a few DIY jobs, and I think I would put it towards some funky gadgets for the house.
Very nice indeed. OK, well, very best of luck. 3 good answers, as I say. Your first answer was 50 Shades Freed. In this case, we were looking for Dakota Johnson films. If this is pointless, 3,000 quid is yours. Let's see how many of our 100 people said 50 Shades Freed. It's right. It just has to go all the way down to 0 now, and a funky gadget and a new car will be yours. Oh, we're down in single figures. Still going down with Dakota Johnson. 50 Shades Freed to 3. Wow.
Just need a little bit more.
That's not a bad score at all. And for your first answer as well. OK, now, we then turn to the Bonfire of the Vanities. We're now looking at Melanie Griffith films. If Bonfire of the Vanities is pointless, you leave with a jackpot of £3,000. How many people said the Bonfire of the Vanities? It's right. 50 Shades Freed took us all the way down to 3. Bonfire of the Vanities now takes us down through the 20s into the teens, into single figures, still going down with Bonfire of the Vanities. There we are, passing 3 down to 1. Oh, fantastic. I tell you what, if you've ordered these right, this last answer should win you that jackpot of £3,000. How to Be Single. Now, we've gone back to Dakota Johnson films. You felt this was probably the most obscure of the three answers you
Just got it in the
gave.
back of my mind somewhere.
Do you know if it's right?
I've got strong suspicion. Yeah, I seem to recall her being in it. I saw a trailer for it, and I seem to recall her being in it.
OK, we just have to hope that no one else thought of this, because if it's pointless, you will win that jackpot of £3,000. How many people went for How to Be Single for Dakota Johnson? It's right.
Come on.
Your first answer took us all the way down to 3. Second answer, all the way down to 1. Dakota Johnson's How to Be Single now takes us down through the teens and into single figures, still going down. Down we go with Dakota. Down! 4!
Never mind.
I thought that was going to go all the way down.
Oh, well.
It just bucked the trend at the last minute, didn't it? They head in the right direction.
3 really good answers there, though. Bonfire of the Vanities. Who would have thought that was going to be so low? Oh, I'm sorry, though, you didn't manage to find that all-important pointless answer, though, and you don't win today's jackpot. But don't forget, you each get to take home a pointless trophy. And plenty to remember and be proud of across the show. So very, very well done indeed, Sam and Alan.
Yeah, 4, 3 and 1 are terrific scores in that final round. It's very unlucky. I'm going to take you through the answers in the different categories here. We'll start with Tippi Hedren. The Birds was the biggest scorer by a mile, and Marnie as well was a big scorer for her. Dr. Caraib, I Heart Huckabees, much more recent movie. Julian Jack returned to Babylon. Raw scored points. You also would have got points for Countess from Hong Kong, Citizen Ruth, Foxfire Light, Free Samples, Pacific Heights, and The Ghost in the Whale. Everything else was a pointless answer, so well done if you didn't say one of them. Now, Melanie Griffith. The Brian De Palma thriller Body Double was a pointless answer. Stormy Monday, a recent hit, The Disaster Artist, was a pointless answer for her. The Milagro Beanfield War, the big scorers there, Working Girl, Raw, which her mum was also in, Milk Money, Pacific Heights, Lolita, Something Wild, Another Day in Paradise, Autumn Mayter, Cherry 2000, Night Moves, Nobody's Fool, and Stuart Little 2. They all scored points. Everything else was pointless. Dakota Johnson. A Bigger Splash with Tilda Swinton and Ralph Fiennes, Crazy in Alabama, which is her first ever film, with Melanie Griffith, also pointless for her. Goats is a pointless answer, David Duchovny film, and the 5-year engagement with Emily Blunt. The 50 Shades films all scored points. 21 Jump Street also would have scored you points, as would Need for Speed and The Social Network.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Sam and Alan, thank you so much. I'm sorry you didn't win our jackpot today. That'll have a roll over onto the next show when we will be playing for £4,000. Join us then to see if someone can win it. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.